Identity theft is one of the fastest growing crimes in the US at this moment. And do you know that if you are a victim of ID theft, it takes not 10 to 20 days or weeks or months, it could take 10 to 20 years to get your ID put back together again. I'm Kylie McKinney, founder and owner of True Prosperity Financial Coaching, where I empower people who have financial challenges to win with money. People who are doing well with their finances, I empower them to continue on course and to even do better with their finances. I'm glad that you are joining me this evening, and I would love for you to support this channel by clicking on subscribe. The subscribe button that you see there, as well as the notification buttons to get downloads of each week's YouTubes that come your way. Also, please like this if you are enjoying the content, and share this video and share this YouTube channel with others that you know that will benefit from what's being taught, what's being shared on this channel. So tonight I want to talk about identity theft and how to protect yourself from being a victim. And if you are a victim or have been victimized, what to do to get back on track or get your ID put back together again. As I mentioned, ID theft is again one of the fastest growing crimes in the US, and unfortunately there are millions each year that are victimized by some type of ID theft. As a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago the national news put out that there was a data breach that affected over 300 million Americans' Social Security numbers. Were out there in the dark web to be used any way the thieves would like to use them. So with that being said, I want to make sure that you understand how to protect yourself, and in particular your Social Security number, because your Social Security number basically is you. And the thing is, you want to make sure that you're not just protecting the card, but the number itself. You know, it's advocated that a person should never carry their Social Security card on them. Always keep it in a safe place. The only time that a person needs their Social Security card on them is if they're, dealing with a health provider or a tax preparer or an employer. But in most instances, all you need to do is remember your Social Security number and give that out, as opposed to holding on to your card. And while we're dealing with Social Security cards, let me just go a little further with that. Be careful about who you give your Social Security number to. As a matter of fact, if anyone is asking about your Social Security number, you have a right to ask why they need it and what they're going to do with it if they receive it. Various places, does not need to automatically have access to your Social Security number. So, number one, be careful who you share your number with. Also, number two, never carry your card on you. And number three, be sure that you never laminate your card. When your card is laminated, Social Security card, it'll be suspect of being tampered with. As a matter of fact, on the card it says do not laminate. So those are ways that you can protect your card and your number. And also, be very careful how much information you give out about yourself. If a person has your date of birth, your place of birth, and your mother's maiden name, do you know they have you? So again, be very careful about that information, because if you give out just that little bit of information, they can take your identity and run away with it. Even further, people that have credit cards, on the back of your credit card, you normally have the space where you can sign your name. I would recommend, instead of signing your name, put photo ID required instead. Photo ID required. So if the credit card is ever lost or stolen, the clerk must ask for ID before they swipe that card. And if they do so, please thank them, because they're paying attention. Let's go further. Checking your checking accounts. Many of us have checking accounts where on the front of our checks we have the headings of our names, our address, and phone numbers. But even be very careful how much information you put on the heading of your check. As far as your name, for instance, let's say your name was John Lewis Smith. Instead of putting John Lewis Smith as the heading on your check, put your initials and your last name instead, J.L. Smith. So if that check is ever lost or stolen, then the thief does not know what JL stands for, and it's a hard time cashing that check. If you have not invested in a shredder, I recommend that you do so, because we have what are called dumpster thieves that go through trash to figure out how to get your information. And you're a victim if you have things like unsolicited bills that have come your way, or you are getting calls from law enforcement about a crime that you maybe did not commit, or you're having trouble getting credit, or doing certain things financially. These are ways that you can tell that you may be a victim of identity theft. So, what do you do if you're a victim of ID theft? What are the steps that need to be taken to rectify this? Well, number one, file a police report. File a police report. Go to the police so that they can have on file that you have been victimized as a victim of ID theft. Number two, I would go to the Federal Trade Commission. Now, a link or a website that you can go to is identitytheft.gov. Identitytheft.gov. And I will have that link, by the way, in the description. But go there, and their job is to rectify and get your ID back together again. There's affidavits you'll have to fill out, and all kind of things. And the thing about it is, it's not so much the money that's stolen or whatever, it's the time that it takes to get all this back together, to get your ID back together again. But that is a necessary step, is to contact the Federal Trade Commission, and you can contact them by going to the website identitytheft.gov and follow those steps so that they can start to rectify and get your ID back together again. And number three, contact the credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and so that you can put a fraud monitoring alert or even freeze your credit if need be, so that no one can come in behind you and steal or affect your credit even further. So these are steps that you can take. And also, there are some individuals that may look to get identity theft services or monitoring services. Now, one thing I would say about that is you don't want to just have a service that monitors your credit. You want to have a service that if you're a victim, you can not only have it monitored, but also restorative services where they can actually help to get your ID back together again. There's many out there, LifeLock, and there's another one that I use, me and my wife. It's Zander Insurance ID Theft, Zander, Zander Insurance Identity Theft Protection. And that is one of the best investments you can make in yourself. I'll put that in the link. I'm not an affiliate, but I'll put that in the as a link in the description as well. But I would really consider getting that protection so that you can be proactive, and you'll see that it'll monitor everything from your social security number to your bank accounts to oh my gosh, telephone number, address. All these things are monitored with this theft protection. But you want to have theft protection to protect you from these instances when they occur, because it's nothing more stressful than having to fix your identification and convince these various entities that it wasn't you that actually wrote the check or did whatever has happened because someone stole your identity. So once again, make sure that you're not a victim of ID theft. Make sure that you're doing everything necessary to protect your identity by, number one, making sure you don't carry your social security card on you unless you need it for those three instances I talked about earlier. If an employer needs to see it, or a health provider, or a tax preparer. But in all of the cases, there should be no reason why you should carry your social security card on you. Also, be very careful who you give your information out to as far as your social security number. I would also be very careful about any identifying information you give out unless you know why they need it and what they're going to do with it. So again, this is just to cause you to be aware, aware of all the things that are happening out there. Unfortunately, we have bad actors who are out there doing everything they can to steal a person's identity and to wreak havoc on people's lives. But there are steps you can take to prevent that. So be sure that you look in the description for the link to identitytheft.gov, which is the Federal Trade Commission that you would go to help to rectify and get your ID back together again. Also, the different types of protection plans, identity theft protection plans. One is LifeLock, of course, and you can look them up as well. But the one that I use and Kim use, and it's been very effective, is Zander Insurance Identity Theft Protection. Zander Identity Theft Protection. And again, I will put in the description a link to that as well. And it's not only a monitoring service, but it's also a restorative service where it can recoup what you've lost, and they actually have a person assigned to you that will help you and actually do the affidavits and everything for you. So that's why it's a very good deal with very minimal costs. You can check it out for yourself. And in addition, as a financial coach, I'm here to help. I'm here to help not just with identity theft, but also in protecting your wealth in the form of making sure that you're on the right track toward financial wealth, getting out of debt, living on a budget, saving. All these things are necessary, investing, to make sure that you're going from striving to thriving. So I also offer my services to you. I would love to have a free consultation with you if you are interested in finding out more about how to live financially free, how to live financially secure, how to live and move toward financial wealth for you and your family if you're married, or if you're not married. Please let's talk. I'll have in this description a link to a free consultation where you can consult with me. Also, there's a link to my website. You can find out more about what I do, who I am, and all the packages I have as far as coaching. But there are also in the description, I'm going to also put 2 links to 2 online courses. They're not long courses. They're very short online courses, but very effective. One is dealing with budgeting. It's called Sense and Sense, a cash plan for your money. The other online course is Getting Rid of Debt. Again, these are good investments. You can click on the links, and again, this is lifetime access to these courses. Once you click on the courses, you have them for life, and you can go at your own pace. But invest in yourself. Invest in yourself to get, again, from striving to thriving, to live a life that you have intentionality, a life on purpose financially. So once again, if you are enjoying this content, let me know by subscribing. Subscribe to this channel, and also click on the notification button so that you're always notified when new videos drop. And also let me know that you're enjoying by liking. And if you want to leave some comments, feel free to do that as well. Also, if you know of anyone that may benefit from the information that's being shared on this channel, please share with them as well. Again, it's all about empowerment. I am here to empower individuals who are stressed, who are having challenges financially, to win with money. And again, those who are doing well, I empower you to stay the course, to learn ways and ideas on how to do even better with money. And again, God is the core of this business. That's why it's called True Prosperity Financial Coaching, because we are called to be stewards. And a steward is nothing but a manager of managing what belongs to somebody else. And it all boils down to handling God's blessings, God's ways, for God's glory. So again, on this video about identity theft, this is one of the ways that we can protect what we have, but also protect our identity as well. Because the Bible says a good name is to be chosen far better than rubies. And one thing you don't want to mess up is your good name, or even allow anyone else to mess it up for you. So again, Kylie McKinney, owner and founder of True Prosperity Financial Coaching. And my prayer is that you receive something from this video and that you will take to heart all the things that have been said in this video for protecting yourself, your identity, your social security card, and other things, other documents you have as well, to make sure that you are living a stress-free life. So again, thank you for joining me on this, and I look forward to sharing more valuable information and giving you empowerment where you can live on purpose and live a stress-free life financially.